Okay, we're solving ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So we're going to solve by factoring. Once we factor, we're going to find out what the variables equal. So I'm going to use the three different forms. Let's start with the x box form. So we need to make our x, it needs to multiply to b. If there's something greater than 1 with that x squared, we have to multiply a and c. So it has to multiply to be negative 45. And it has to add to be what b is, negative 12. So thinking of factors of negative 45, that when added together would be negative 12, negative 15, and positive 3. Multiply them together, it's negative 45. Add them together, and it's negative 12. So when I make my box now, I'm going to put this here, 3x squared, the c, negative 15 here, and what we just found, I'm going to add x's to that and put that in the corner. So negative 15x and 3x. So what do these two have in common? They have a 3x in common. How do we get from 3x to 3x squared? Multiply it by x. How do we get from 3x to negative 15x? Multiply by negative 5. From x to 3x is times 3, and negative 5 times 3 is negative 15. So the answer is these outside ones, 3x plus 3 and x minus 5. We have to solve, so I'm going to set those both equal to 0. Subtract 3 from both sides and divide by 3, so x equals negative 1. Add 5 to both sides and x equals 5. If you put those both in there, they should both equal 0. Okay, now we're going to solve this one, and we're going to use the quick division method. First, we have to get it into standard form. So we need to get this over here by adding 12b to both sides. So 5b squared plus 12b plus 4 equals 0. Now we need to factor. So they need to multiply to equal 20, and they need to add to equal 12. So multiples of 20, 2 and 10, added together does equal 12. So I'm going to rewrite this, keeping this the same and this the same, and dividing this up into what we just found. So 5b squared plus 2b plus 10b plus 4 equals 0. Now I want to put these together with things they have in common. So I'm going to put the 5b with the 10b and the 2b with the 4. There are multiple ways to do it, but I like to do it the easiest way, looking for things they have in common. So I'm going to rewrite that as 5b squared plus 10b and 2b plus 4. So factoring out what these two have in common is 5b. So when I take 5b out, I'm left with b plus 2. And here they have in common 2. So I'm left with b plus 2. We want these ones to be the same. When they're the same, that's one of them, b plus 2. And the other one is the outside ones, 5b plus 2. Set those both equal to 0 and solve for b. So b equals negative 2 and b equals negative 2/5. Okay, one more method. First, we need to get this into standard form. So subtracting 3 from both sides, we get 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 equals 0. So to factor this, it has to multiply to be negative 6 and add to be 5. It's going to be a positive and a negative, so it's going to be positive 6 and negative 1. When we add those together, it's positive 5, so we've got it. I'm going to rewrite this as if this 2 wasn't here. X plus 6 and x minus 1. Now I need to divide the numbers by this 2 and simplify if possible. So this one simplifies to x plus 3, and this one doesn't simplify. So what we do if it doesn't simplify, where there's a fraction, the denominator goes with x, the numerator stays in place. So these are the two binomials that we factored this out to be, but now we have to solve. So set those equal to 0 and solve for x. So x equals -3 and x equals 1/2.